So I use my ring sling a lot, and I've learned a couple things that have helped me always stay comfortable with mine that I wanted to share. And I wanted to first show how I see a lot of other people use their ring slings that I think is the source of a lot of their problems. A lot of people start with their ring sling and they go, okay, I need a lot of room for baby. I need my rings at corsage position. And then they take baby and they get baby in here and they start with their top rail and then they bring their bottom rail down, and I'm already getting tangled. Oh.
Mama, getting tangled.
Yeah. Oh. And then they're gonna make this seat. Okay, now I need to tighten this up, and so they tighten this, and they end up with something that's really uncomfortable for a number of reasons. One, now that I've gotten this tightened up, the rings are almost all the way on my other breast. And this shoulder, oh, I forgot to cap, so I'm just gonna pull it down. And now it's digging into my neck. And baby's weight is hanging off of my back, and like it's not super secure. And this got all bunched up in the rings while I was doing that. So I'm going to show you a couple things that I do. That I think, no, we're not all done. One more time. That I think are going to help. So first of all, Anya's pretty tall, so her bum comes all the way down almost to my hips. But if you're wrapping a small baby, it's going to be 1, centered, and 2, closer to your natural waist. But anyway, I'm going to start with the sling all bunched up and the whole thing tightened where her bottom is going to be. Really snug against my waist. And then I always want the rings above breast tissue but below my collarbone. And because I know when I tighten that top rail up, it's going to come down just a smidge, I usually start with the rings just touching my collarbone. And then I'm going to start with the shoulder capped. You want it in that position. And if you have problems with it loading on your neck, make sure that you start with all the excess bunched down on your arm. So now I have this pretty snug. I'm going to make sure I can just squeeze her legs through. Okay, Anya, come here. One more time. I know I'm terrible. Okay. And you can do the seat from the bottom up or the top down. I just prefer bottom up, and I'm going to show you why. Yeah, we're going to do whatever you just said. Okay, so I'm going to start with her just there. See, she's already in an M position, and the sling is all bunched up in her knees. And then I'm going to take this top rail. I'm going to hold the bottom rail in place under her knees, shimmy this top rail up, and then as soon as I let go of her weight, you see she just kind of sinks into a nice seat. And look, I'm like 90% done. She could still lean back a little bit here, so I'm going to tighten this top rail. And when you're tightening the top rail, you want to make sure this stays spread out. So don't just pull the whole tail down. Tighten the top rail by grabbing the top rail of your tail and pull it horizontally, lifting baby's weight up off the sling, like that. So this is going to pull in this direction. The middle, you can pull kind of towards their bum. And then the very bottom rail, you shouldn't need to tighten at all. Otherwise, you're going to start digging into their knee pits. But if you did, you could pull that either straight down or slightly out. And then, again, if I've got some weight on my neck right now, I can just pull that so that it's bunched further down my arm. And a lot of people complain that they're like, oh, as soon as I lift this arm up, it comes up on my neck. And at the sake of just sounding difficult, just don't do that. Like, the benefit of a ring sling is that you're hands-free. The downside is you don't get a great range of motion up with this arm or in with this arm. If you need to reach something on a shelf, use that one. But that's the big thing is start with the sling super snug, start with the shoulders spread, and then I really like to start from the bottom up because you really start with a good seat and then you're just kind of shaping it around, baby, and only pull up enough just to get as high as you need to on baby. She's a toddler, so I just have it up to her armpits. If she was a newborn, then obviously I'd have her centered and I'd get it all the way up to her neck. But you want all that excess width bunched at the bottom by her knees, not up here, because that makes it load really weird on your back and the neck. And see, I have it nice, spread wide on my back so that her weight is distributed all the way across my back. And this, a lot of people think that ring slings aren't hands-free because everyone who takes pictures with their ring sling is like this or like this, you know, and it's literally just because nobody knows what to do with their hands when they're hands-free with a baby. But they really are hands-free and super snuggly. That's all. Hope that helped somebody.
I'll have my little date.
Yes, you can have another egg. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.